Hey there, Brett here with Quarter Properties, and today I want to hop on here and just chat with you a little bit about expected closing costs. We've got a lot of buyer activity going on right now in and around our area, and one of the questions that we get a lot as we go into the contract process is, hey, what am I looking at from a closing cost standpoint? So obviously a very valid question. So I just want to kind of break this down a little bit to try and help you out to make sure that you're not caught off guard by any of your expected closing costs. So first and foremost, when you're going to closing, you're going to have attorney fees here in South Carolina. All of our transactions are handled by closing attorneys. I know a lot of states use settlement and title companies, but we have closing attorneys that handle all of our real estate closings. They will balance your settlement statement. They will do your title search, make sure you're getting a clear marketable title. They will write a title, have a title insurance policy written, and they will record your deed. Usually the attorney fees are going to be somewhere around $2,500. So you will definitely have attorney fees, okay? You will also have, if you've got a mortgage involved, you're going to have an appraisal. That's usually about $650. You'll have a home inspection. That's usually around $400 to $500. A termite inspection, because we are in the lowlands here in moist areas, so termites are prevalent. So we do have termite inspections. Those are usually around $125. But then you could also have, your HOA prorations. So a lot of times they're going to have something called a certificate of assessment that needs to be written. That's just the HOA saying, hey, the seller is up to date on all their dues. This property can transfer over. Usually those can be around $250. They may have you prepay, say, a quarter of the dues. So that might be another few $100, depending on what your monthly HOA is. But then a biggie that could be unexpected a lot of times, especially in the newer communities with nicer amenities, they'll have nice amenity centers that they need to keep up, so they'll have more fees for there. So they'll have capital contributions that they will be, collecting from every single buyer that closes. So those can be anywhere from, say, $500. I had one just go under contract, and it's going to be $2,000 for those capital contribution fees. So when you're looking at some of those fees, that's going to be kind of general fees with most of your closings. You also have, I don't consider this a closing cost, but it is going to be something that you're going to need, is homeowners insurance. If you're taking out a loan, they're going to, collect up front, and they're going to escrow this. If you're paying cash, then you may just pay your homeowner's insurance agent completely separate and out of the closing. So it may be considered a closing cost, maybe not, but your homeowner's insurance could be, say, $1,500, $2,000. It depends. The more expensive house you've got, it could be several $1,000s. So you don't want to get caught off guard by homeowner's insurance. You will be paying that as well. So, up front with this type of closing, your closing costs could be anywhere, say, from, $4,500 upwards to, say, $6,500 or so in closing costs. Now, if you're not taking a loan out, that's going to be kind of what you're looking at. If you are taking a loan out, you're going to have your loan fees, okay? And these are going to be sometimes where a bulk of the closing cost can come from. And, a typical loan, your conventional loan, you could have, say, around $5,000 to $6,000 in loan fees from your bank to get that loan. If it's an FHA loan, if it's a VA loan, those fees are usually higher, okay? So if you've got any kind of a loan involved, then you're going to be looking at, say, another $5,000 to $7,000 or $8,000 in loan costs. You might buy down points, to get a lower interest rate. So that's going to be a little bit more. But in general, if it's a cash closing, you might be somewhere around $5,000 to $6,000. That's including your homeowner's insurance. If it is if there's a loan involved, then, you could be anywhere from, say $10,000 to $12,000 or so in your overall closing costs, maybe a little bit more if you're buying down the rate. So these are some of your typical closing costs, kind of average estimates that you could be anticipating for your closing right here in South Carolina. You know, there are options to get some help on these closing costs. If you have any questions about that, we're right here to help you with that. So don't hesitate to reach out. You've got my info right there in the description, my cell phone number, my email address. You know, you've also got a great link there to help you search the latest Myrtle Beach area listings. Okay. If you like this info, please click the like button. If you want more interesting info on real estate and or the Myrtle Beach area real estate market, please subscribe, and we'll be talking to you soon.